Hi everybody, so it's New Year's Eve and our Chinese chicken is cooking away. So in the pan here I've got some chicken breast, I've got a red pepper, I've got some spinach and some mange tout, a little bit of garlic and a little bit of ginger. I'm just finishing cooking that together. Over here in the pan I've got some medium egg noodles that I've just boiled and cooked. They only take 3 or 4 minutes. We're having some little flatbreads with it, just because they were reduced today and we quite like those. Then over here in the jug for the sauce, I have got some water and corn flour to give you the thickening agent. And then to that I've added soy sauce, some mirin or rice wine, a little bit of fish sauce, a little bit of oyster sauce, some honey to sweeten it a little bit, and a few flakes of chili flakes you can see in the top there, and a little bit of sesame oil. I don't know if I mentioned that, but mix that all together and I will just now combine everything in the pan and I'll come back and show you once it's all put together on the plate. And so there's the finished product. You can see the noodles with the chicken and the vegetables there, all cooked together in the sauce. There's my bowl. Again, not very pretty dish, but very tasty dish. I always think that with noodly dishes, it's hard to make them look attractive. You can see we've got flatbreads for the sides and some prawn crackers there to have with it as well. So that's our New Year's Eve Chinese feast this year. Just one dish. Sometimes I do a big sort of Chinesey banquet type of meal, and sometimes we just get a takeaway. But for this year, as we've been so busy and just got back from Disneyland, we've gone with the simple option. So we're getting ready to see the new year in, so we'd like to wish you all a very happy new year. So it's Tuesday evening, New Year's Day, and we've put the crock pot to use today with a sausage casserole, mashed potatoes and some steamed broccoli. So the sausages, I browned them in the pan for a couple of minutes on each side just to give them the browned look, because otherwise in a crock pot they don't brown at all. Then moved those over into the crock pot. I sauteed off some onions just until they started to soften, and then I made a bit of a roux with some stock and a little bit of flour in with the onions. And then just to season it up a bit, I put in a few tablespoons of the chutney from the Christmas cheese platter, really. So it was plum and apple chutney, just to give it some flavour, and a little bit of Worcester sauce. And then put all of that into the crock pot, and we've left it for about 4 or 5 hours today. And then some cream mashed potatoes and some steamed broccoli. So that's mine, and that's Caleb's. You can see in the crock pot there is plenty more for Tony to have his plate, probably a little bit of leftovers as well. So yeah, happy new year. A comforting, it's turned much colder outside today, so really comforting meal for us this evening before things start to get back a bit to normal tomorrow. Hi everybody, so it's Wednesday night, I do believe. Tony went back to work today, Caleb and I are back to work and school tomorrow, so it is really all back to normal from tomorrow. So this evening we're making chicken fried pork. So chicken fried is quite a common way of preparing food in the States, and they use it for thin pieces of steak or chicken, and you can use it for pork. So essentially any meat you can cut thinly, and essentially chicken fried just means it's fried like fried chicken with a coating on it. So they have chicken fried steak, chicken fried chicken, and we're having chicken fried pork. So I bought 2 of the pork fillets and swing over here, sliced them up into chunks about 1 inch piece. Then between 2 pieces of greaseproof, I just bash them with my cast iron skillet there and make flattened pieces of pork. And then you just set up a coating station, really. So I've got seasoned flour, beaten egg, and breadcrumbs. I've got panko crumbs because I think it gives a nice crispy texture. And so you just take your pieces of pork through the various coating stations until you end up with fully coated pieces of pork. You then heat some oil in a pan. I've got about 2 tablespoons of oil in there, and I will add just a little bit of butter as well. Heat that up, and for this thickness of pork you probably just want to cook about 5 minutes on each side. So it's not a healthy New Year meal, but it is definitely a flavoursome one, and for Tony's first day back at work it will be quite delicious. Got some potatoes bubbling away there, so we're going to have mashed potatoes and gravy and some steamed vegetables with it, and I'll come back in a few minutes and show you how it all looks plated up. So there is our finished chicken fried pork, and you can see it looks a bit like fried chicken, but it is definitely pork in there. Fillet of pork, just sliced, flattened, breaded and fried in a little bit of oil. Got steamed vegetables, mashed potatoes and gravy, so that's my plate. There's Caleb's plate. Caleb and Tony both like theirs a bit crispy when I do fried chicken or anything like that, so I preferred mine golden, they preferred theirs a bit crispy, so it's not overcooked, it's just the way they like it. And there's plenty more pork for Tony to make up his plate. He's still in the shower, having just got home from his first day back at work. So we're getting ready to tuck in. We'd like to thank you for joining us for a short week of Meals of the Week this week. We're all back to normal from tomorrow. I do have a meal out with work next week, one night, but we should be back into our normal routine of videoing our meals every evening, giving you a bit of information about how we make them, and then posting them usually on a Thursday or Friday. So hope you've had a good start to the new year, and we look forward to seeing you back on the channel soon.